Okay, welcome to Kevin's Corner TV. I'm talking with Victoria Crosby, author of America Wake Up and 2020 Hindsight, her new book. Victoria, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate you being here again. 2020 hindsight. 2020, as we all know, we're recording this in September now.
Yeah.
2020 has been a crazy, crazy year for a lot of people.
Who
What is
would-
2020's hindsight?
Well, like I say on the book, I did not set out to write another political satirical book. I wrote America Wake Up, and I thought that was it. I thought I'd said everything I needed to say. But things got so crazy and are continuing to get crazy. And I really don't want to do another book like that, although I do, as you know, have another book in the works, but it's not the same as that. But things really did get crazy, and I felt that with the lockdown, I wasn't able to participate in some of the marches like I normally would, the protests that I had been in previous years. So, of course, I turned to my keyboard and started writing. And this was the result of it. And I got a lot of support from people who'd read my previous books saying, yes, you should, you definitely should. So I did. And this is the result.
And what are some of these poems compared to America Wake Up? What's the difference?
Well, there's a similarity because the government hasn't changed. It's got even worse, if that's possible, and the mishandling of the virus. And I just learned yesterday that another person I knew has passed away from the virus, this time a woman. The other people I knew were all men. For some reason, men seem more susceptible. But this was an English woman who I had known through my British group. The other people were, there was a Hispanic man, two African-American men, and a Caucasian man, and they all died from the virus. And so people, when they say that it doesn't affect them or it hasn't affected anybody they know, well, maybe they don't know a lot of people. I mean, I belong to a lot of organizations, know a lot of people, and I guess the more people you know, the more people are going to be affected by it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and another thing, when you've got something as serious as this, as serious as the pandemic, and as serious as the trouble that our country is in because of the political agenda, you have to sort of have a little sense of humor. Otherwise, you'd spend your time totally depressed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you know, there have been people throughout the ages who have written satire or who have made comics and jokes, comedians making, doing stand-up comedy or just making jokes about what's going on in the world. Because if you don't, you cry all the time, you get depressed, and people get suicidal. So I try to alleviate that suffering for myself and for other people by writing things that are funny.
Okay, so mainly a lot of it is satire and comical.
Yes, it's humor, but then there's the serious side of it.
Right.
There's some of the poems that are meant to be serious because, as I mentioned, I think in our first interview, you can't make jokes about children in cages, who are suffering not only from lack of basic needs, food and health supplies, toiletries and things like that. But now with this pandemic, we don't know what's happening to them health-wise in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't joke about something like that. That's a serious subject. But the other things, the politicians, I can laugh at.
Right.
And they make it so easy.
They won't do. That's true. No matter what side of the fence you're talking about. Yeah, this is true. So how do these poems come to you?
I don't know. They just do. Divine inspiration. It's
Yeah.
just, if there's a topic, I just sit at the computer and it starts to come. I don't have to struggle. I never did with even with my inspirational, motivational poems, or if I take a joke and put that in poem form, like a regular joke, not a political joke, but just some kind of funny joke. Some of them a little risque, so shall we say? And I do those at poetry readings. But I haven't done much of that lately because all the poetry readings I was booked to do have been canceled, of course, because of the pandemic. No, these are the poems I've been focusing on. And so the 2020 Hindsight book came out in July. And since then, I've been working on a new book, which was inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the lack of justice for people of color, and being involved in so many organizations with people of different faiths, of different races. I'm sensitive to that, and had written quite a few of these poems before because I'm involved with these organizations. So that was pretty easy to put together a collection and then write a few new ones because some of the subject matter is very serious. Again, like the children, when people are being shot for doing something that, is a misdemeanor or not even a crime at all, that you can't make a joke about something like that. So I have to throw in a few funny satirical poems just to lighten the mood a bit.
Right. Good. So that new book is all about Black Lives Matter and racial injustice?
Yes. It's about there should be equal justice. The title of the book is called Can You See Freedom? And that's a poem that I wrote some years ago about the athletes, particularly Colin Kaepernick, kneeling instead of standing for the national anthem, and how a lot of people, white people, I suppose, took that to meaning disrespecting the flag, when what they were trying to do is say, there is not liberty and justice for all in this country. There's liberty and justice for you if you're white and if you're wealthy. Otherwise, you take your chances. So that's a serious poem. And the poems that I've done for Martin Luther King Day, those are serious poems. And some of those poems speak about things that are going on in the world, the environment, how the environment is being destroyed, especially in this country, because all the laws that were protecting the environment have been overturned for people who make money by destroying the environment. So, so that's basically what the next book is. And hopefully this will be the last, so it will be a trilogy.
Right.
Okay. 3 politically satirical books. So they're semi-serious, mostly satirical, but semi-serious. Right. Because even though, like I said, you have to laugh sometimes at the stupid things that are going on, even though our lives are being destroyed all around us. And, it is what it is.
Exactly. So 2020 Hindsight, do you have a particular poem that you could read for us, actually? And
how about Lysol Don?
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Will they drink a martini laced with bleach as they all party at the beach, or inject themselves with products that disinfect? I think that we can now expect T-Rump supporters to try these cures that he has espoused in this pandemic, which he has aroused. Clorox or Lysol, or the store's own brand, The results are the same for this pathetic band of tea-rump cult followers who don't understand that they have swallowed the Kool-Aid along with his lies and will follow his ravings until their demise. Number 45 was impeached, not in-bleached. Another fact that is alarming, that the term for disinfectant inside the body is embalming. From the virus they possibly may die, but from painful poisoning if they try these so-called cures from a snake oil seller, a ruthless, greedy, obnoxious old fella. No pearls, no wonderful pearls of wisdom are these, but toxic words from a man with a mental disease. And then we have a little picture and the quote.
Very good. Very good. Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah.
So that all came from when he said that maybe we should be drinking this.
Well, putting it inside the body, he said.
Right.
Yes, is there a way to put it inside the body? And he said, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in 1 minute. And is there a way you can do something like that by injection inside, almost a cleaning? So this is what he was saying. And some people actually did it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many died, but a lot of people were hospitalized for ingesting bleach, which is crazy. Who would do that? But they did.
So you're coming across these news feeds and stuff, and these poems just come straight to you right away.
They do. Yes, they do. I mean, if there's a topic, or for my other regular poetry, if somebody says something, or there's a phrase that I like that I think would make a good title or a good beginning for a poem, I just write a poem. Years ago, we were walking on Jones Beach, and there was a plane with the letters, "Will you marry me?" But it sort of inspired me to write a poem. Did she say yes? Did they get married? Are they happy? Or are they walking together on the beach? Or are they killing each other?
Right.
Just little things like that will inspire me to write a poem.
Nice.
So.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
But this past year, this year from hell, well, actually the past almost 4 years, but this year particularly because of the pandemic, because we've been home and not going very far, that's where these poems came from.
Right.
The 2020 hindsight. Because who would have thought when we were looking towards 2020 years ago that this would be a year like this? We can't wait for it to end.
Exactly. And there's 45 poems in 2020's hindsight, just like America Wake Up.
Yes.
Right.
I decided to limit it to 45 for obvious reasons.
Right.
But in my new book, since, of course, he is mentioned, but he's not the focus so much, I decided to go with 50 to even it out and make it 50.
Right. All right, so let's wrap up with, if you would do one more poem for us.
Okay, well, I have poems about the silver lining, about the, how the environment has sort of improved in some ways, and how we all gained weight and drank too much. So there's the funny ones. They're not all mentioning you know who.
Right.
But there's one that everybody has enjoyed that's read it so far, and it's about being home with your significant other.
Okay.
So this one is called Help. Spending months alone in the house with your partner or your spouse can make you want to go outside and say, "Give me the virus so I can die today." But seriously, this is perhaps the greatest challenge a relationship can take. And we all have to make allowances for our partners who are now beyond annoying. This is true. No talking to each other is the perfect way as we struggle to get through another day. Watching TV so we don't have to talk, or go outside and take a walk. But don't go off your property line without a mask and you will be fine. Staying calm and practice meditation will help to relieve the irritation. Take deep breaths, count to 10, and pray that we can all survive until when the pandemic is over and we are free. Although I have a feeling that we shall see many babies being born and lots of divorce, but not with the same couples, of course.
Perfect. That's great. All right, perfect. Thank you, Victoria. America Wake Up and 2020 Hindsight are both available on Amazon, correct?
Correct.
And the new book is called again?
It's called Can You See Freedom? And Other Poems About the Importance of Interfaith and Interracial Understanding.
Excellent. And that should be out very soon, and we'll keep our viewers up to date on that one as well.
Yes.
All right, Victoria,
Okay,
thank you very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Kevin.